Hello, good evening. Hope you're well, hope you're fine, and welcome along to this lovely Monday night. And what we're going to do this evening, we're going to introduce some of the Keep Team Paranormal team to you this evening. So I'd like to introduce Dave, Jessica, and Dennis, and the lovely Karen. Is she coming on or is she staying in the background? This is what we need to find out. Right, just click into the stream.
Hi, everyone.
And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to get some more information of what we've got up and coming this year. Are you in the background, Kaz? Are you staying there? Good evening.
It's because I got the bit of the giggle, so it's your fault. So I'll be back.
Can I stay there? I've got to show you something. As soon as you click live, the chair collapsed. I think I'm joking.
Whoops.
Oops.
Yes, I do.
The chair collapsed. What's all that about? Right, good evening. How's everyone?
Oh, poor Gary.
And on that bombshell, good evening, Nick, Sarah, Kath, Gemma, Angelique. Hope you're all right. How's everyone doing anyway? Are we all getting up to speed, feeling much lighter and fresher?
We're all good. Looking forward to getting back out there, get back onto it. Feeling a bit rusty at the moment, so we need to get back onto the investigating as soon as possible.
Massively say that again anyway. So I think our Karen's just regaining where she's up to there now. Dennis, how are you? How's Jess?
I'm very well, Gary, thank you.
That's okay. You
yeah,
can't
looking
stop
forward
laughing.
to getting back out there.
I'm going to go and get another chair in a minute.
Oh dear. Dennis.
How's things, Dan?
Yeah, we're good, Sam. Plodding on as you can.
Oh dear. Right, let's see where we're up to. Me and
Dennis,
Gemma.
before we go on and we talk about anything to do with us, Dennis, can you take centre stage and tell everybody about your fundraiser that you're doing, please?
Right. Starting this Saturday, throughout the month of May, each day I'm going to be doing 100 press-ups for cancer research. Now, I haven't got to do 100 press-ups straight away in one go. I can scatter them out through the day, which is what they've told us, or I can cheat if my arms are aching by, use your knees, but I prefer to use the proper technique just to get myself fit. But anyway, the main reason I'm doing this is it's a close cause to myself and to friends and family who have suffered, and I just seen the opportunity to do something good, and we all need a bit of a boost and something positive to go on. And what better way is to not only get myself fit, but get everyone involved for a good cause. So even though my arms will probably drop off at the end of May, it's going to be all good, hopefully. My target to reach is 250. At the moment, I think I'm about 170. So hopefully I can get past that target and see if I can get during the month of May. So fingers crossed.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're all happy with that. I'm sure everybody else will too. I've put the link, as you can see, it's on the screen. The link is in the comments. So even if you cannot afford to donate, then please at least share it for Dennis. And the funny thing is, you're starting it on the 1st of May, and it was 12 months ago on the 1st of May that I had my head shaved for Macmillan.
Look like me?
I did look like you. So I did my Brave the Shave on the 1st of May last year for Macmillan, and you're doing yours for cancer research on the same date.
Yeah, warming up.
So yeah, the link is below, guys, on there. If you can afford to donate, please do so. If you're not able to donate, then do exactly what I asked everybody to do before, and that's literally just share it out there instead, because it all helps, whether you're sharing, whether you're donating, whatever. It's raising awareness, it's supporting Dennis, you know, and we're all behind him and we're all going to support him. So we ask you to do the same.
Also, if people can't pay through Facebook, they just contact me. I'll give them my PayPal email, and then when it comes to me, I'll put it on the page and I'll tag them and say who's donated, so they get the credit still.
Super, well done.
I think it's great that you're doing it anyway. It's like, I don't know, you said about getting fit and everything, but it is a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
So fair play to you for doing it.
Thank you.
Well done, Dennis. We're right behind you.
Someone else have to do it next year, though, as well.
I knew, I was waiting for that one.
I nominate.
Squats next year.
As long as I can nominate, that's fine.
So Jess is back. We lost her for a
Sorry.
second. So who is in the comments? Hi, Gemma. Hi, Kath, Sarah, Nikki, Angelique, Pauline, Nikki, and Valerie. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you can, please share this out for us. We would appreciate it. So, yeah, so tonight, oh, and Shelley. Hi, Shelley. Sorry, I missed her. We do apologise.
Oh, here she is. Better late,
Hi,
late
Sophie.
than never.
Hi, Mother.
Hello, Sophie. Oh, hello, Mother from another. She's in the other room.
The other room. Oh, dear. So, we've come on to talk about our upcoming events, what we got planned this year, obviously, because COVID's kind of mucked us up last year and everything else that went on. Some events have been moved to 2022 because we couldn't sort them this year. So, Gary, do you want to kick us off? What was our first event for this year?
Well, all I can safely say is well done. Well done for all the hard work that you've put in and everybody else has contributed with, because as an organizer, I know you've had to step back and adjust things as everything's gone and stuff like that. And, it must be so tedious and pulling your hair out as well with certain situations and all that as well. So well done for that. Tell me more, the 3rd of July, and I know you're quite close to this, aren't you, Dave and Jess? It's Shepton Mallet. Tell me more on the 3rd of July. And what we'll do is, I'm sure Karen will put links up for the prices and all that. So we won't go into pricing. We'll just have a little talk about the location and stuff like that. But Shepton Mallet, do tell us more.
Fantastic, really fantastic place. One of our local haunts, because it is so just down the road from us, roughly about 5 miles. Been going there for about 3 years, week in, week out. Experienced lots of EVP type phenomena there, lots of shadows, various places within the prison, very active. Yeah, the worst experience I've had is part of the prison that we can't actually gain access to, which is a bit of a shame, the workshop. But the actual main prison is still very, very good.
Yeah, I echo what Dave says.
I'll also say that what we'll do as a team, we'll ask for them spirits from the workshop to come and join us, regardless if they're in a different wing or section. We'll ask for that spirit to happen, and then I'll do that now, and you can see what comes around and about on that evening when you're down in Shepton Mallet as well, because I know it's your local haunt and that. Have you been to that place yet, Dennis?
No, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's amazing. It really is.
It's an experience you won't forget. That is for sure.
And again, there is a lot of wings there as well, isn't there? You know, and there's certain parts of the place that I think it blew my mind when I went there a few years back, and I went with our Linda, and it was obviously, again, I don't know much history about the place, but a few years back, the information and the spiritual activity that came through was mind blowing. So hopefully we can get all that type of stuff to interact with us as well, and certainly see what you guys pick up on and see if you've had anything there that you've had last time comes through again. That'd be very interesting as well. So as a team, you can even ask for certain specific spirits to come along and interact with you straight away prior to going. And Jess, I know you had that experience where you was doing the automatic writing there.
Yeah.
And I, you know, obviously as a medium, my first instinct is to protect people and anubis, because obviously I wasn't there at that time that you was there and that was happening. I did feel a very suppressive energy that, they wanted to get your story told, and that's fine and fantastic, but hopefully we can get a little bit more knowledge and information off this character, and hopefully we can get you back in trance basically, and work with that as well, or even try it with David as well.
It'll be interesting. It really would.
Yeah. But obviously
4 different wings.
4.
Yeah.
4.
A, B, C, and D.
Yeah. D wing is where you had your automatic writing experience.
Yeah. On D3.
Up on the 3.
Yeah, it's one of those places. It's just full of history. Like, you just learn so much as soon as you walk through those gates. It's a beautiful building as well.
Just off the top of my head, Jess, is that quite close to the hanging room there where you've mentioned that wing?
Yeah, it's kind of above it, but along. So yeah, it's not far.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some interaction up there, so I know which wing you're in now. And surprisingly as well, Jess, that seems to be. I know you're on an investigation, but that does seem to be more of the darker section of the prison as well, doesn't it? If I remember, it seems to be really, I think, a lot of dull greens in and around. I can't remember the colours, but it just seems to be a lot darker than the rest of the place, if I remember.
It's got more colour compared to the rest of the wings.
Yeah,
definitely.
There's definitely a vibe up there. I don't think it gets investigated that much, but it does need to be investigated more. It's an area where most people don't really go to. They like the treadmill.
Yeah.
They tend to go there more than they do in D-Wing. But I think D-Wing is going to be very, very active.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to that as well. And as again, I felt with that wing that you mentioned, was it D-Wing? I felt even prior to going there that as you're on the investigation and you're coming from one section on a break and you're walking into that section, I just felt it totally change of a different atmosphere. Totally, I just felt it was like you were walking through that wing. It started it. It was like a totally different place.
You kind of get the feeling that you're being watched. That happens quite often within the prison. As soon as you walk through the gates, obviously you've got the wall that's quite daunting as well because it's really high, more or less like 75 feet at one point, which leads to the back of A-Wing, which again is a very, very active wing. But yeah, it's full of history, and you can feel it as soon as you walk in there. You can feel the sadness as well. You get the sadness impression. There is still bodies buried underneath as well. I think there's about 7.
Also, if I remember rightly, it's quite a tight alleyway that you have to go up towards the prison, isn't it? Depending which
there
way
is.
Yeah. And you know, some people might not think it's down there, but it is down a very tight, narrow, like alleyway. Or road, and basically it just virtually swings in on the right. Then as soon as I got out the car, I think I was virtually channeling as soon as I got out the car, basically, and if I remember rightly, it was one of the Cray twins, and I was on a live, and you could see my face going gaunt. It was all just, you could really feel it going in on the face as well, and that was quite surprising. I can't remember which one, if it was Ronnie or Reggie. Don't tell me any information, but because it was years ago now, like I just can't put the name to which one it was as well. And that was quite interesting. That was very. I'm watching you, but I'm behind you as well. So I felt he was even 20 foot behind me, but he was basically the governor, basically in them days, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some of the comments as well.
It is a fantastic location.
Gemma's also saying as well, she can't wait for Shepton Mallet, and you know, obviously there's just some amazing energies there waiting for us as well. And obviously we've had a break and we've had a period of rest and all that as well. So I think everybody will be really up and running for it, and batteries fully charged and everything as well.
Really excited. I just can't wait. I cannot wait.
I can't wait. It's going to be an amazing night.
So again, we'll put the link on that as well, and we'll put the link up on that as well on the page as well, and we'll share that around. So please go and join the team on that. That'll be amazing. Nice. Really, really looking forward to that, and interacting with the people and the amazing people that we meet when we're out and about. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
That's what I love about the events, because you do meet some lovely people as well. You know, you make new friendships. I love being out there.
Karen's saying that Wi-Fi is freezing all the time as well, so no problem. What intrigues you about that place, Dennis? Have you heard anything? Have you heard any? Have you heard any stories about the place? Or
no, I really looked into the history, because I like to see all the different history that's gone on, and then try and back it up with any evidence we can capture. But I not since we was organised where we was going to go did I do any history. But off the top of my head, I need to look back at all the information I've got.
Yeah, there's not an inch of that place we've not seen. We've been up on the roof. And up there, the view across Shepton Mallet is absolutely stunning.
Amazing.
On a sunny day, it's amazing.
Yeah, just people saying they're missing us, missing the team loads and all that. So really looking forward to that. And as well, I think it seems a long time away. What are we looking at now? 3rd of July. So we're nearly in May, aren't we? June, July. So it's quite within reach now, isn't it? And as again, we've had to be professional and follow all these restrictions and all that. And then, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what we've got up and coming after Shepton Mallet? And we can touch back, ask questions, folks, on any of these topics and subjects as well. Would you like to introduce the next one on the agenda that we've got, Dennis?
Yeah, is it Judge Lodgings on the 24th of July? Am I right with that one?
It is. I'm not sure whether that's a team invest, is it? Or has that been moved to 2022? We'll have to double check on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure with that one.
The next one we have is a fair. Is it 7th of August?
Yeah, so that's Gloucester Guildhall Festival.
And then after that, it's a weekend at St. Brevals. Am I saying that right?
That's right, St. Brevals. Yeah.
So I think everyone's looking forward. I think everyone's looking forward to that one, aren't they? St. Brevals. And it's actually on Friday the 13th, isn't it?
Oh.
So that's a win-win bonus, that as well. So 13th to the 15th of August. Let's hope the football fixtures are fine for us that weekend. And again, I've heard one or two people on the circuit that's mentioned a few things on there, and I've seen people when they've been on the live, and I've actually seen or given a full manifestation. And I think the 4 or 5 ladies that were in a team that night that stayed on their own little wing overnight and all that, they said obviously this woman virtually manifested right through the wall. And obviously only one or two, the 4 or 5 of them that were staying together were awake at the time that happened. But there was an almighty scream in and around the complex of the overnight stay on that as well. So, but I picked up on that happening before it happened. So when these ladies were going down there, I said, "Oh, you're going to be in for a bit of a shock later on in the night as well." And they certainly had that. They had virtually a full manifestation of a lady walking from like one area, one room to another room, virtually right through the wall as well. So that'd be interesting. I got no names with it or nothing like that, just that was going to prior happen, and it certainly did as well. So it's nice when spirits are playing, when they say they're going to play.
Yeah, we've stayed there once. We've done an event excuse me, at the castle, and it was very, very good. Yeah, I mean, we got to stay there and you know, sleep overnight, so it was quite good. I'm not going to spoil it and say what happened, but I know we're going to be in for a good night.
Yeah.
Is it a warm location, or do people certainly, if they're going to stay on the overnight part of it, is it a good a big thick sleeping bag?
They've got heaters as well. They've got radiators.
Yeah, it's heated.
Right. That's always a win-win.
And a nice comfy bed, so that's the main thing.
They are.
We've been on some.
Sorry, what was that?
I was saying stop up all night and keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore paranormal.
No time for sleeping.
Yeah, I think they'd certainly be up for that. Like, I'm looking forward to that as well. So I do feel that people will obviously try and stay up as long as they can with all the investigations as well, because I do feel that, like myself, it's like having your arms and legs just totally tied up and bound, and it's like you can't go anywhere. So it's just going to be amazing to hit the road and get out and about there. But I've heard some amazing little bits of stuff that's come through there at St. Bravils as well, especially over the centuries and decades. I don't know how old the building is. I don't look into all that, but it's certainly one that's been on my bucket list, I'd say, for easy 10 or 12 years. I was due there once or twice, and then certain things happened, and I think we had it booked as well earlier on, didn't we? And then obviously because of the situation we had to rebook it. So we're definitely it's in the top 10 for me bucket list, this place.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's also, again, when you drive up to the castle, you get out of the car and it's just got this feel, this atmosphere. Again, you can just feel the energy at the place. It's quite strong.
But even as we're talking about it, I feel like I'm more in a field overlooking hedgerow on the outskirts of it. That's how I feel, as if a spirit's walking around the outskirts of the building, and that'd be quite interesting because I always like to do a little walk around and introduce myself. But I do feel that there's somebody calling me that's outside of the castle at the moment as well. So that's interesting when we pull in and see what happens there, and see if they come in into that as well. But they usually jump ahead sometimes and then start linking in with you. So we'll see if that person starts linking in as well. And I've got a pain in the ear as we're talking about it.
If you look at the comment below, it tells you all the dates that we've been doing this year, all public events.
That's excellent, that as well. And then obviously on the Keep On Chatting page, we'll have all the links and all that for the where you can come along and join the team as well. So definitely looking forward to that. I'd say it sounds like definitely an 8 or a 9 out of 10 location, doesn't it?
Yes.
You can't be a good castle.
Gotta be done.
Oh yeah, castle and a prison and like an asylum as well. I've never investigated an asylum, but I would imagine that's up there.
I've been in Denby quite a lot of times, and it can be very suppressive and weighted. Like if you get one spirit that comes through, it can still be carrying on and continuous for 3, 4, 5 or 6 weeks, where it's still ongoing for you to go back, and it just doesn't happen when you finish going there. It just carries on and carries on and carries on, where you've got to help these spirits especially that's been trapped in certain locations like that as well. Right, fire away then. Where's the next one on our list?
The next one is Guy's Cliff, which is on 28th of August.
Yes, it certainly is. Have you been there, Dennis?
Finally, somewhere I'll be. Yeah, I've been twice.
Excellent. I was due there again, and for personal reasons, I couldn't actually make it. But I was absolutely gutted because this place blew my mind away after my first visit there. And as soon as I pulled up, I was like the spirit waiting for us in the little doorway of the building and that. And it certainly didn't fail. It was a very interactive night as well. Different parts of the building as well to investigate, where it's a totally different session again, which I've touched upon on a few times, where from when you have a break, it just totally changes, doesn't it? I feel.
Yeah.
There's another place where you get out of the car and you can feel it. The first thing I said when I got there when was it last? 2 years ago?
Last year, wasn't it?
Last year?
Ooh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I don't know whether you remember.
I think it was after the lockdown.
Was that? Okay, I've lost track.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was about October or November, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Tell you when it was.
Was it September?
It was September. It was in between the middle of September, about the 12th of September, something like that.
It rings a bell.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to think, when I went to my previous visit, it was really, really cold, which I think it was Keith's first event. And it was a really cold night. And as soon as I got there, it went, you need to come back in the summer. Well, guess what? 28th of August, to me, is the summer.
Bank holiday weekend. What better way to spend it than with us?
Spot on.
But again, that's mad how it ties in. So I know there's some interaction there that we're going to get to the bottom of and find out this more information as well. And it's great how spirits work. You know, I mean, you're talking, even if it was 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and then as soon as you go to a location, it's like you've got to try it in another time of year. Yeah. And that time he said to me is come back in the summer, and we're actually back in the summer. So I do feel we're in for some outstanding evidence to be captured. Fingers crossed, because obviously there's no guarantees. But for them to say that on my last visit, I'll be over the moon to see what comes along and interacts.
On the last, I think that was where Jess got scratched. In the Masonic Lodge.
Masonic Temple.
Upstairs. Yeah, she had 3 deep claw marks.
Well, I remember last time something was on the roof trying to get in.
Ooh.
And crawling on the roof as well, outside. Watching and monitoring us what we were up to.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And we'll jump in between on the comments as well. This is where you can get hold and come along and meet the team as well. And I'm sure Jess will have a pen and Den to give you any signatures, as well as Dave as well, if you want them.
Yeah, put stamps. I'll find a stamp for you.
Dennis is up on the stamps. He's a stamp collector. Right, where are we on now? What time are we on now? 30 minutes. So I really can't wait for Guy's Cliff, though. I really, really can't wait for that.
Yeah, no, it's going to be amazing.
I just
so
see
many
so
different
much
parts that is good to investigate.
And there's so much history around there, isn't there?
There is.
And it's quite right on top of Warwick, isn't it, if I remember rightly?
Yeah.
So, right. What was your experiences there then last time you went to Guy's Cliff?
So they opened up a new area for us when we last went, and the stories that they told us, it was interesting where we went. Like, no one's been that section before. I'd put a camera down, like, to see if anything would walk past the doorway, and every time, like, someone else put a gadget down, I ain't sure the name of the gadget, and it would go off. I think it was the music box, and it would always go off. It was like no
Yeah.
one's near. We'd come there and check, nothing there. And obviously, when I checked back with the camera and that, the cameras froze, or it just skipped, as if like when the sound's going off, it's then suddenly just skipped. What, like totally, whatever happened, it's just wiped that few seconds. It's just mad how the cameras just jumped and all that. So I thought that was a bit strange, but yeah, the stables as well. Stables can be a bit intimidating. It doesn't help with that mascot they got in there, but you know. Yeah. Yeah,
what I found interesting was the chapel there, or whatever they call it, or whatever Masonic part of it as well.
Yeah.
As a medium, I always find when anytime you enter a room with Masonic around it, a lot of spirits just shut up shop. They go shh, and it's not that they don't want to interact with me. It's just like we don't want to tell him too much. Do you know what I mean? It's just me personally. I feel like it's not everybody, but it's like that one can hear us type of thing. That's what I always find around the Masonic Lodge.
If I remember rightly, when we were in the chapel, me and Dennis both had the experiences of swaying.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly.
Well, Claire's asking, will it be live on Guy's Cliff? Well, we'll try and find out. We can obviously pop up and do a walk around, what we usually try and do, and then obviously the paying public enjoy that investigation and let them come along and share the evening as well. So as Karen said, it won't be a live, but we can do a pre-walk around, I should imagine. Next one on the agenda.
Shrewsbury Prism.
Oh.
Another good one.
Oh yeah.
How many times have you been there?
Loads.
I've lost count.
We had a membership for jailhouse tours, so we used to go there a lot during the day as well.
Yeah, we would spend all day there on a Saturday. We'd spend all day in the prison itself. Then we would go away, get something to eat, come back, and then we'd be ready for the investigation. So we'd effectively be in the prison all day long. And just to get the sense and you know, the feel for the place before you start the investigation itself. There's lots and lots of areas that are good.
Yeah.
I certainly had around Shrewsbury Prison as well, the governor's room as well. That's quite busy, I find. And basically, this have you been or come across the tunnels underneath in the prison?
Georgian
We
tunnels,
haven't done it yet.
We haven't actually gained access underneath there, have we?
We tried, haven't we?
Every time we've been, we tried to get Joel, who's in charge of the prisons, tried to see him, but because we went up on the weekend and he never worked on the weekend, we couldn't actually arrange anything with him, which was a bit of a shame.
Well, I know one of the times I returned there, I think a member of the public had took me walkie-talkie, and I had the walkie-talkie set, and I think it was one of the security guards that was coming around with us as well because he was intrigued. And I think he gave me his walkie-talkie and he took mine. So next time I went back, I was like, yeah, there's your walkie-talkie. I didn't get mine back, but I did return the property. But I do think he'd had mine at that time as well. Also, what amazes me with Shrewsbury Prison is there was a specific spot that the person was virtually overcome. And I've seen something on telly, and it was actually virtually in the same spot as well, which I'm not going to say where it is, but I do recall actually where that wing is as well. And this person virtually hit the floor with this energy, just bombarded them as well. So I've seen that was on the telly, but I've actually been there and experienced it where somebody has been affected by this overpowering energy as well, which is, you know, when you go there, it's nice to experience that as well. Behold, you know, a bit of fresh air, you'll be all right afterwards. But I have seen, for that to happen at the same time as somebody's filmed it and then somebody's actually experienced that as well, that didn't know anything about that as well, but I clocked on of what was going on as well. So that was bizarre to see. Actually, it
Can
really
I
is.
just interrupt? Is there a noise your end, Gary?
Yes, there is. I've got
There is, yeah.
I've got a processor that's actually just doing its own thing at the moment as well. Bearing in mind my chair's broken and that.
Sounds like microphone interference or something.
Hey?
I'm really struggling.
All right.
It could just be me.
No problem. I'll just a sec. I'll give it the old.
Could you team? Could get comfortable.
So
does anyone else hear that? It's like a microphone interference.
No.
No, it's just me.
It's all gone quiet here this side, basically. So Shrewsbury Prison as well. How many wings did you get in and around on the day visit?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
When you stayed there in the day, how did you find the day visit to the investigation?
Yeah, it was very, I mean, it varies. I mean, I find it more active at night. Only because generally during the day you've got the public looking around the prison. Every time you try and do a little bit of like investigating, someone comes. So you haven't really had a great chance during the day to actually document anything. Because by the time you put anything down on the floor, somebody comes in, or family comes in, looks around, and we're a little bit conscious of obviously some families don't like you doing that kind of thing when there's like children and things like that around. So yeah, we've not really had a chance to really go for it in the day, which is a shame. But
so how many times would you say you've been there yourselves? Where you say loads, is that like 5?
I would say probably about 8 to 9 times.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been there as well, Dan? Then
no, another one I've been to.
Excellent. And I tell you what's interesting, when you actually pull up there in the car park, isn't there a castle just behind it as well? Or a walk around.
There could be. There could be.
The museum.
I always get drawn to that as well. So if people get there earlier, prior to the investigation, they can go and have a little look around there as well and walk around there. And I find there's some energies there that's calling you as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a very, very active location. I mean, we felt what it can do in Shrewsbury. And yeah, you need to be on your guard.
Yeah, literally.
Literally on your guard. Yeah, I've had gates slam on me. We've had
swinging door next to
the hanging room. We actually sat on that bed doing a spirit box session, and the half-red door that's directly behind slammed at full force against the wall, and to the point where I actually jumped up off the bed because we felt the force, and it was so strong, and there was nobody out there. It was completely.
On the top of your head, have I heard rumours that this is going to be turned into flats or apartments as well in the future?
Yes, I don't think the actual prison's going to be developed. I think it's some of the outer buildings. I think they're going to keep the main prison as a museum and day tours, things like that. So, and the paranormal.
But it's certainly a time to go and visit it now prior to any alterations, I would safely say.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I got just up for this one, have I?
Go ahead, Dennis.
Last time I went to a prison with Gary, I dressed up as a prisoner. All the stripes on and everything.
Cops and robbers.
Telling all our secrets now, Dan.
That's what I'm doing.
No, but I am a big believer in the if people are more open to receive, then you'd be surprised how much it I always say comes alive, the building, and gives you the information that it holds within as well. So it's I always find the older energies at the start of the night are the ones that usually try and come through first, because they've been waiting around the longest to interact and give you stories as well. So
there is
amazing.
One particular cell which we may have to look out for. It's called A4. It's up on the 4th level, is number 27. We managed to investigate it because we kept finding that the door would keep shutting, even though the window was closed. And the energy within that cell is seriously strong. So we actually done a little mini investigation in there. We told Joel about it. He monitored it, filmed it, and for no reason whatsoever, the door slams closed, and I mean it's really, really tight. There's no
We couldn't
window.
open it, could we?
We couldn't actually open it. A couple of times we tried, we couldn't actually get it open. It's just solid door. There's no wind, there's no draft, but it
Just
just
like
has
a vacuum.
vibe in that cell. It is like a vacuum, yeah.
And you know what it's like when that doors don't open when you've gone into a location and you've got the suppressive energy or the weighted energy or the energy's changed, and it is like a vacuum. It's like somebody's sealed that room on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, many a time we've done a lone vigil in the cells there, at times like 1 o'clock in the morning, things like that. When we used to join on to events, they'd say who's up for a lone vigil, and I'm straight there because I love lone vigils. Get the action. When you're on your own, that's when you're at your most vulnerable.
Ooh,
it's brilliant.
Just put something else on there. So what was your experience then when you was dressed up as the prisoner? Which location was that? 'Cause I can't remember.
We did Steel House Lane in Birmingham.
Yeah, remember it now. Yeah, excellent. But again, there some interesting cells when you get in them cells. You know, I've put equipment out in a cell with nobody in it, doors closed, and then every time we were walking past it, the equipment was going off with the door closed, and you're like, there's just no physical way that this equipment should be going off by people walking 10 foot past it. You know, they weren't light sensors or anything like that. And it was just every time you were walking up and down, it was going like, just it was all kicking off, as they say. Yeah. So
we've even had a spirit follow us from A wing to, is it C wing? C wing.
Down to the laundry room.
And from the laundry as well.
I remember at Shrewsbury Prison as well, isn't the church part of it I found was quite, I can't remember whether there was a window quite high up and they would either open a window and talk to the congregation within the Sunday mornings, do you know what I mean, of the prisoners together. And there's even, if anybody passed in the prison through natural causes, they would hold the coffin within there as well. I could actually see certain things like that going on as well, as if there was a coffin in the room as well, in and around the service to be held. So it was just a resting place as well until obviously people took the natural body away. But I've had amazing interaction in and around certain parts that you wouldn't expect it, do you know what I mean? And a lot of information come through that you wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, because you'll find where they've got visits at the moment, that used to be the original hanging part of the prison. Nobody has actually properly investigated visits because they don't associate that as being haunted, because they do not know that was where they actually done hangings.
And I think a lot of times because it's base room as well, isn't it? So
and because it's a base room, yeah.
Just replying to Claire. As well, and from moving on from that, we've got, as I always say, the Falstaff experience, but it's known as Tudor World as well, isn't it? And that's on Friday, the 1st of October.
That will be very
good. Another amazing place. We went. When did we go?
It's all rolling into one.
I've lost count. It wasn't that long ago. Like, it must have been
No.
last year as well. Through lockdown, must have been. After lockdown, when we got released.
Yeah, the gap in the period in between.
Gap
What
in
was that you
between.
said then? Did you cut out then?
When we last went to full staffs, must have been
Yeah.
after
It
Guy's
was
Cliff.
about end of September, wasn't it? If I remember
Must have
rightly.
been.
Something
Must have been.
like that.
Yeah.
Have you been there, Dan?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Been there once.
And again, what I find, I think I went there again in the summertime, and it's a lovely part of the world as well, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful town. So
Yeah,
old and
it's like it is like Tudor world, isn't it? There's so many black and white buildings there, and
it's like
again,
stepping
it's
back
like
in time.
to me, it's like there's a story on every street around the spirit as well that come through.
Yes.
Definitely loads of history in that town.
It's
Ooh.
Shakespeare town, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Certainly
Yeah.
is. Is
Yeah.
there a river there? I can't remember now. Is it River Severn? Is it goes through? I'm not sure.
It could
there's
be.
a river, but yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
wouldn't know which one it is.
I'm not sure whether. And our lovely Karen's just put something up which we haven't got to yet, but let that one click on.
Yes, we
Big
do have a
announcement.
we do have a
For
big
the-
announcement.
And
Yeah.
I've actually that's one of my favourite places is the big announcement, but I haven't said it yet anyway. The Falstaff experience as well. Again, I find it jumps back in time for me in little slots. So I'll see like I think I was with another medium there, and the information we were getting, we'd both written dates down, and I think we were 5 years out from each other. So when once he was upstairs doing an investigation, and then we were doing an investigation downstairs, and all the information that we had towards the end of the night, we were both within 5 years of each other of all the information that came through, which to me is mind blowing, because 5 years of the information of when that period of that energy was around that spiritual building and things going on. 5 years is nothing either side. So I can't remember the date. So say it was 1856. I think the other person gave like 1861, and it was like that was the period of the decade that seemed to be working through all night. So like you were in that slot of that decade, and again that's just mind-blowing information. You know, little things like that when you tie in on the feedback at the end of the night.
Yeah. It was a very, very good night. I remember it well.
I enjoyed it because we had a couple of skeptics in the public that came, and they was all like, I've only come because my friends have come and that. And then the interaction that this person had, they couldn't believe it. It was like, the spirit was like, okay, prove you're real. And this, well, it's just brilliant what we captured. And then that lady literally left because she was in fear. She thought we've got to have done something, but no, it's just, you didn't believe. And it says, okay, I'm here. And that was really eye-opening, you know, especially for the public who it's their first time to be investigation and they go by what they've seen on the TV. You can always use cobblers and that, but nah, it's brilliant what we captured there.
And when you get all this information coming through, Claire said she's just been given 1575 as a date. She doesn't know why, but that's the type of scenario that when we go there, that date might jump out and hit us on that era as well. And I think Karen had an experience of seeing things on the street and hearing a lot of spirits calling us from the main road and the street, even when we were on the side of the building, down the cobbles on the lane. And again, it's just an amazing experience there. And I think actually blindfolded Karen to spirits to lead us to where we needed to go for the next session as well. And that was amazing, because I love the intelligence of spirits and where they draw you to as well.
You all right there, Jess?
Yeah, I had to grab my charger.
Oh,
right, okay. I thought your throat was playing up. I thought you was you was getting somebody linking in with you for a minute.
Not today.
Okay, that's all right then. But Falstaff, very interesting as well. And when it does settle down there, it's even in the hub, and there's a little courtyard as well, isn't there? And that's interesting where they do the tours. Looking forward to that. And October as well, it's usually wrap up. I always find that's when you're getting into your 2 pairs of socks scenario, isn't it?
Definitely. It does get quite chilly.
I think previously when we've been to Falstaff as well, someone got stretched there as well. But I don't know whether they was, enticing it.
Was that because Jess had? I think if I remember rightly, Jess had a rope burn around her neck.
Yeah,
just round the
Up
neck.
in the attic.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Not sure who caused that, but
I remember that one well.
I think that when we were in the top room, didn't there something fly up the stairs as well? Black shadow just shot up the stairs.
Oh yes, it did. It did.
Setting all the equipment off.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where I went with that group again, and then there was just a noise at the back when we was in the attic. There was a noise at the back room. All the girls screamed, and the next thing you know, Karen comes walk up the stairs, and everyone screams again because she heard us scream. But it was just mad.
Right, I'm not going to move on to the next one because I don't want to do the big announcements. I'll let Karen do the big announcements. So hopefully when she puts 50 pence in the Wi-Fi meter, she'll come and do the big announcements. So when you're ready to come off the fence, Kaz, I'll let you do the big announcements. We'll skip that announcement on that. I'll let one of you do that, or if Karen wants to do it, that's fine. There's another one we've got there. The 27th of November. Have any of you been to this place?
Oh no, this
Never
is
been.
completely new. Never been here before.
We've got one before that though.
Yeah, I know we've skipped that then, but let's see if Kaz wants to come and announce that as well.
There's one the end of October, isn't there?
Right, okay.
Not sure. Is that team?
That's a team one.
Team one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Carry on then. Ignore me.
No, that's fine. No problem. Looking forward to that team invest as well. And what it does when we do have a team invest in between, it just gives us a chance to catch back up on what we've had in response to the public events, and it gives us a time to spread our wings within the team as well, doesn't it? So it's always nice to catch back up, and it's like regrouping, because you might be in with a team that you don't see each other in the part of a big location and stuff like that on the night, because you're not supporting the members of the public as well. So it gives us a nice time to catch back up as well, which is good. Right, the 27th of November, the Village Mansfield. You said you've not been there. I've been there about 4 or 5 times now, and it doesn't fail. I know it sounds daft. It's very interesting, how can you say, acknowledgement of the spirit energy that comes through, but it always seems to be tapping you on the shoulder, nudging you, pulling you close, trying to interact in certain times, and all periods of children, adults, and again, there's quite massive links, I feel, there with the churches that's quite close by. I think there's 3 churches that's quite close by to the Village Mansfield as well. And sometimes I think one of the first times I went there, or second time it was, sorry, I actually sat in the hub, and it was just so much going on. I just thought I need to slow down and catch what's going on in and around the main area first. So are you looking forward to that one, Dan?
Yeah, I'm always looking forward to going somewhere new.
Excellent.
I like the sound of that myself.
Yeah, it's a new place, new experiences. I
love the interaction as well from the spirit side of things. It's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
2 seconds. There's a nice big car parking area on the back of that one as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's plenty of parking there as well. But I would recommend going there, 3 or 4 hours earlier and having a cup of tea in the village or whatever as well, and having a little get feel for the area as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea.
Definitely
Whereabouts
take your time.
is that one, Gary? Is it?
It's quite close to Mansfield. I think it's not far from Chesterfield.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's in that direction as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mansfield, Nottingham.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. You see different parts of the time that the building's been used for as well. It is a very interesting location. And
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. I
that'll
can't
be
wait
good.
for all of them.
They're
They're
all
all going
very
to be amazing.
They're all going to be
Well,
awesome.
I say the one that's going to blow my mind away is St. Bravils as well. But again, Guy's Cliff, Shrewsbury Prison, Shepton Mallet. I think there's just so much where links and connects as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and also when you go to Village Mansfield, you'll get to meet the lovely Lee Roberts as well, which always makes you're welcome in if he's on that night. Sometimes
Lee Roberts. Yeah.
He's a lovely lad, and it's somebody we've meant to catch up and do some nights together and get out and about elsewhere and all that. But it's just that what it's like, and the year we've gone through, or the 14 months that we've just gone through as well. But the actual Lee Roberts looks after the place as well. So as I remember his staff there on a Friday or a Saturday night, or he'll be there. So you can have some amazing. If you pick up spiritually, he can get you a lot of confirmation of the stuff that people actually pick up on as well. So
Wow.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Gemma said, you went with us last time as well, Gemma, didn't you? As well, there's little pockets of areas there that it just seems to come alive. It really, really does, the Village Mansfield. And you always get a nice cup of tea there as well. And there's a nice big area for you.
That's the main thing.
Breaks as well, which is always good because, I think last time we took something, obviously something to eat, but they've got good facilities there as well, where you can have a rest and recharge your batteries. Claire's saying she's getting a lot of spirits brushing past her lately as well, interaction. And usually what happens with that, Claire, is just spirits more know that you're working spiritually and they're just pestering you for you to acknowledge them. So if you're not open to work at the time, just acknowledge them. It's like tapping the hat and, yeah, it's okay, I see your spirit as well. So the more and more that you're working and openly working, Claire, then you'll get spirits doing that again. Like I mentioned, certain locations, spirits will tap you on the shoulder and this, that, and the other. Right, I'll let one of you love. If our camera's not coming back in, where are we now? We're just up to an hour already. Who's going to do the big announcement? Feel free.
Well, I reckon we should. Well,
Who's going to do it?
October 16th, Scotland, join us because we're going to the Edinburgh Vault. There you go.
That's it, Dennis.
Excellent, Dennis. And I visited many years ago up to Edinburgh, and I met up there with an amazing paranormal team up there as well, and they looked after me, and they certainly put me onto a lot of places. So if you come along to Edinburgh Vault, please inbox me because I can put you in the directions of parts that you can go and walk around as well. And just trying to think of a few names. There's places there where it's just outside Edinburgh, and you can stay in these lovely, amazing hotels, and then come along into the investigation the next night and come and join us as well. So if somebody fancies a really good weekend there and wants to get up on a Friday, I can put you to some amazing places there as well. Roslin Chapel, and there's Roslin Castle, and places like that as well. I've actually been to King's Mary's Close. I've actually done that. So, but the Edinburgh Vaults, I didn't actually get round to doing that, but I've heard so much of it. But when you're actually walking in Edinburgh, it's just like it's just like Spaghetti Junction. For you, then it's like being in the middle. It's that busy spiritually. There's that much going on in and around the city.
I've never ever been to Scotland, so this will be a first.
But from Edinburgh Castle going down to the bottom, I think there was one way around. So I think from the top of the castle, if you made it down to the bottom of the street, you virtually got a pardon and got away with your life. There's actually a building on the left. I can't remember that. It's like where the pirates called Parley, and then they couldn't put them for trial and stuff like that. I think if they made this building down the bottom of the road and just done a left into this building in Edinburgh, then their life was saved. They'd be pardoned, or they wouldn't have to serve trial or something like that. I can't remember the full SP. What it is, I don't retain information, so when I'm told stuff, it just comes in and out. You know what I mean? But there's some amazing places there. Edinburgh Vaults I've heard so much about, not who's there spiritually, but what's actually gone on. So that'll be quite interesting as well.
Yeah, I've not read any history on the place. I've seen obviously on TV they've been there, people have been there, but I've never actually done any research. But it does look absolutely amazing.
Done a little research, and it's it's mouth watering the stuff that's gone there, and hopefully we can validate some of the stuff there. It'd be great.
Excellent.
And to be honest, I actually think I seen. I think Nick Groff was there, possibly, and I've watched one of the American teams there. It might have even been Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, Ghost
Adventures, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I only watched about 2 or 3 minutes, and I was like, no, I'm not going to watch it because I know I'll end up there at some point. So actually, I'll turn the program off. I know I'm not being disrespectful. It's like it's not the time to watch it. So when we go there and we visit Edinburgh Vaults, and you've done the investigation, then I'll go and watch the program, and then see how it ties in that way. I always find that's a good thing to do because you're going in with an open book, then, aren't you?
Definitely.
Exactly.
And most of the team never been there before, which is even better, isn't it?
Yeah. But there's a street as well. There's actually a street where I think we stayed in a hostel last time, and the team drove up there. We stayed in this hostel, and the next day I woke up with the biggest paranormal hangover ever. And as soon as I woke up in the morning, I went, this was a police station or a court? And they went, yeah, it was a station, it was a police station, then a court, or vice versa, the other way around.
Wow.
So all night long in this hostel, but the street itself was renowned. It had a certain thing as well. I'm not sure whether there's a pub with half a barrel hanging out the wall, a bit like Harry Potter type of thing. There's something there. But I remember so much of the place when I woke up, but I couldn't get it when I was there because I was deep in the thick energies in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is so busy spiritually. And then when I woke up with this massive paranormal hangover, it was like, it was so clear, and it was just the clarity was there then. I could see it in my mind's eye, where it was just like, sometimes if you sleep in a room and it's too hot and you wake up and you're like, oh my God, it wasn't like that. But when you woke up, it was like, it was so much lighter when I woke up, and I just picked up on everything then because it was just getting bombarded. But the whole place you walk around in Edinburgh, you will get bombarded with spirit if you just give yourself that time to link in. So if anybody is sensitive, it is an amazing place there. So again, join in with your friends, do a car share and all that. Get up and see us the weekend there. I do recommend it, but there's some amazing places I can recommend people to go and visit prior to the next night so they can make a good weekend of that as well.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
The bucket list.
Oh yes.
That's Rosslyn Chapel. I think that's where Tom Hanks done one of his films, and they come out in Rosslyn Chapel as well, like one of the national treasure films.
Oh, yeah.
Da Vinci Code or something like that.
Say again, Dan.
Da Vinci Code or something like that, was it?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, and it was right towards the end of the film. I've actually been in them vaults in not the vaults, in the chapel as well. But even the room that you put me up in the hotel in, it was like a notorious room. So it was just non-stop. So I was walking around all these lovely, amazing places, which aren't too far away from each other, you know what I mean? So Roslin Chapel's about 2 miles outside Edinburgh, you know, it's well within a taxi ride, so it's not too far. But even the churchyard and the graveyard that's in and around Roslin Chapel, there's a castle just round the corner as well. And there's a lot of history. I think the first time I went to Edinburgh, I was like, I've got to go to Stirling. I got to Edinburgh and I had to go to Stirling. Stirling Castle's 15, 20 minutes away as well. But again, there's so much right on top of each other as well. Right, anything else? I'm going to put the dates up as well, which I should have done. And thank you for the big announcement as well, folks. That's excellent as well. So that's one on all of our bucket lists as well. So if anyone's not been there, come up and join the team and catch up with it as well. And then I think towards the end of the year, Dan, I think it's your birthday, isn't it? We out for Christmas, are we, this year? Fingers crossed.
Me and Joe's birthday and Christmas night out. The big 2-1 for me.
22.
Big 2-1.
22. So we always look forward to that again. And it is a lot. It is a lot where people put things together as well over the years, and you know, I just, you know, thanks for all the hard work for everyone that puts in as well, because you do get out of it in specific things. We will come across on one of them locations something that will stick with us for the rest of our lives. I would safely say, top of my head at the moment, to me, it's going to be Guy's Cliff. For me, that because it's called me back there 4 or 5 years ago to come back at that certain period. You've got Shepton Mallet, you've got St Bravils as well. That's up there, and I think the top 5 locations in the UK. Shrewsbury Prison, Falstaff, Edinburgh Vaults, the Village Mansfield. Come along, catch up with the team. If you're drawn to somebody, if you're drawn to Jess or Karen or Dave, Dennis, and we've got Dave as well, who's not in and around. But if you're drawn to working with a member of the team, just ask if you want to work with a member of the team. We'll certainly try and balance the numbers, and we'll always try and accommodate people's fair requests, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
and we'll certainly be opening with opening arms, won't we? It'll be like,
oh yes,
Of course.
and I've got to restock my sweet. My sweet stock has gone.
running a bit low.
If anyone's got any requests for any sweets on the investigations, please let me know. I will try and supply. So certainly looking forward to that. Dennis and Jolene's birthday as a Christmas night out and a get together, so that's always good. Nice to let your hair down as well, isn't it? As we speak as well. So I'll ask you all one by one. I would safely say Guy's Cliff, St Bravils for me that I'm really looking forward to, because I just feel there just seems to be that energy there for me at the minute as well, as all the energies that all the places have. But they're just ticking the boxes for me to be receiving. What would you say? Which one or two would you look for there first, Jess?
For me, I'd be looking forward to Shepton Mallet, Shrewsbury, and Edinburgh Vaults. That's my 3. I mean, I look forward to all of them, but those 3 are my
Go ahead, Dave.
I'd say again Shrewsbury Prison, Shepton Prison, definitely Edinburgh because we've never been up there. All of them. Just get me out of this house. I'm destined to go out and investigate. I just want to go.
Go ahead, Dan. What's ticking your boxes for you on these? What are you drawn to? That's what I should be saying. What are you drawn to?
Well, obviously the vaults is like a big one, and then it's the prisons as well, and then I also feel a bit drawn to Falstaff. There's just some unfinished business there for me.
It just seems to niggle away, doesn't it? Niggle away. So thanks for joining us. Any questions, please feel free to ask and put up a comment there before we go off as well. But again, I think it's just like, let's get out and about there. Let's share some amazing times ahead. Really looking forward to it as well. So keep watching, keep tuning in, and we'll certainly do some report backs if you can't make a certain place or an investigation. We'll certainly try and give you some insights of what we've experienced as well. So hopefully that'll be interesting just to, if anything covers what we've talked about tonight, that'd be quite interesting as well for me anyway. So we'll see where we're going. And
if you want any tickets, you contact one of us, contact Karen, or go on keepinsidetheparanormal.co.uk or our Facebook page, Keep Paranormal. Tickets are available now, so get on it now before it sells out.
Yeah,
come along and join us. I'm just going to put that on again now, so that'll click on now, and I'll leave that on.
I hope to see a lot of you at the events.
and it's certainly a new chapter, a new era, and keep moving forward, guys, and onwards and upwards, as they say, and it is to an amazing 2021, and certainly we've got things tying in for 2022 already. So onwards and upwards, and well done, team, and can't wait to catch up with you all again.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Great
All
chat.
right,
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure, and I enjoyed your show last night. If anyone's not seen it, catch up on YouTube, on Keep On Chatting platform. Get back looking over some of these interviews that we've had. Been amazing. Thanks for your time, folks.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you.